Let's talk for a second about just how incredibly hard it is to be president. My voice is coming back, but still a little bit lost here, so bear with me. Trump got to enjoy a really fun Monday night. He got celebrated, he went to parties, got to dance on stage, and he got to sign a bunch of casually destructive executive orders, the sorts of cultural issues that he has made his campaign on, and, really had a great time. Now he's got to be president. And let me just talk for a second about how hard the stuff is that's about to come at him. I'm going to tick off a few here. Avian flu. There's a very good chance that we're going to see another pandemic during this presidency. Avian flu just turned up in a big commercial poultry facility in Georgia, about 100 miles from Atlanta. That's bad news because every time that something like that gets a chance to be in a big facility like that, it gets a lot of chances to mutate. And if, God forbid, it were to mutate into something that could move in between humans, that would be really bad because currently any human who has caught it has a 1 in 2 chance of dying. It's very bad. So that's a big problem that the White House would have to deal with. Two, there's all the crazy foreign conflict stuff going on. I mean, Israel and Gaza, my God, and Vladimir Putin, right? A BBC analyst the other day called him a car with no reverse and no brakes. And a document was leaked recently. Yahoo News has it that shows it was leaked from inside the Kremlin that shows that they actively plan to do in Belarus what they've done in Ukraine. So that guy's not going away. You know, the conventional measurements of labor are all falling apart right now. Like there, for some reason, are not enough Americans to fill the jobs that are available, and yet there's a rising number of Americans who've been looking for jobs for more than 27 weeks. Well, these things just don't make any sense. All of this, by the way, is at theripcurrent.com. I'm writing about this week. And the big one I want to talk about, which is one that I think really exemplifies just the millions of little hard choices that come at a president because nobody knows how to deal with them. Here's one of them. So here is what's called a lithium iron phosphate mine. Lithium iron phosphate is the new battery technology. It's what people want to use in EVs and other battery situations because it's fantastically better than lithium ion. Lithium ion catches fire and you can only charge it a certain number of times. Lithium iron phosphate is way more stable, it doesn't catch fire, and you can charge it way more often. It's really energy dense and lasts longer. So American automakers would love to use this stuff, but as the CEO of Ford argued or described last year, you know, China controls this completely. China already makes 70% of the world's EVs, and they are the ones who make this stuff. They have really locked down the market, the global market for this. On January 10th, the Commerce Ministry in China announced that they were creating new policies that would propose a possible restriction on the export of the precursor materials, the raw materials that you would need, the cathodes that you need to make this stuff. And that would be a huge, huge problem because it would mean that you would have to buy them directly from Chinese companies. You could not get the materials and make it yourself. That's a real problem. And you combine that, China, right, is right now stuck in a terrible economic downward spiral. They are really suffering after their big real estate crash. And the only bright spot in their economy is their exports. Well, if Trump imposes the tariffs he's talking about imposing, that's going to put them into a defensive posture that is going to cause them to try and protect what dominance they have in other things. This could be one of them. The other one is Taiwan, right? Taiwan, it makes 60% of the semiconductors we use in the world, 90% of the most advanced ones. We really depend on Taiwan. And I've been talking to military analysts who say that if we had to actually defend Taiwan, if we had to actually, deal with a physical invasion of Taiwan, that place depends on external sources for food, water, electricity, all kinds of things. So that would be bad, and it would mean tremendous loss of life to try to defend that place. So these are big, hard things. And when you pull one lever, it causes other cascading effects. So I just think this is really, really hard. And, I think it would be hard for any president. I think it's going to be especially hard for a guy who is not exactly given to thinking about policy and whose people are all about cultural issues and, who at this point owes all sorts of favors to all sorts of people. So really solving big problems that are going to affect Americans, everyday Americans, you and me, I don't know. I don't know how he's going to do that. But anyway, point being president is no joke. It is really, really hard. And so the easy wins for him are over. Again, you can check all this out at theripcurrent.com if you want to read more. Thanks.